I just don't need intimacy anymore, Mark. Not with you. Those words weren't shouted. They weren't even cruelly spoken. They just dropped, like a glass slipping off the edge of a counter, shattering everything I thought was still holding us together. She said it while drying her hands at the sink, as if it were a passing comment about the weather. I stood there, leaning on the kitchen counter, coffee gone cold in my hand, wondering if I'd misheard her. What do you mean, not with me? I asked, my voice cracking halfway through. Laura didn't look at me. She folded the towel, placed it on the rack, and said quietly, "It's just, I don't feel that connection anymore. Maybe it's the stress. Maybe it's me. But I don't want to force something that's not there." I remember staring at the back of her head, the hair I used to run my fingers through every morning before work, and feeling something inside me begin to rot. We'd been married for 6 years. Sure, things weren't perfect, they never are, but I thought we were solid. I thought distance was just a phase. Turns out I was the only one still trying to bridge it. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling while she slept beside me. Or pretended to. Her breathing was too steady, too deliberate. I thought about all the times she'd turned away lately. Said she was tired, said she wasn't in the mood. I thought about how her phone was suddenly always face down. How she'd started locking it. And then something inside me snapped. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. Just stop. I stopped talking to her. Stopped texting. Stopped trying. I ghosted my own wife. At first she didn't notice. Or maybe she didn't care. She went about her week as if nothing had changed. Humming while making coffee, laughing at something on her phone, heading out to yoga classes that seemed to last longer every time. But I watched. I observed. And when I wasn't watching, I was dying inside. There's a specific kind of silence that happens when love dies. It's not peaceful. It's suffocating. You start counting how long it's been since the last real conversation, the last genuine smile, the last time she looked at you like you mattered. By the 4th day, I'd convinced myself I was overreacting. Maybe she did just need space. Maybe it was hormonal or emotional, or whatever excuse people use when they're too scared to face the truth. Then Friday night happened. She came home late. Again. Said she'd gone for a drink with the girls. Which girls? I asked, keeping my tone calm, detached. She froze for half a second. It was small, but I caught it. The flicker of hesitation before she smiled. You know, Sarah and Megan. The usual. Funny thing. Sarah had texted me earlier that day asking how Laura was doing. Said she hadn't seen her in weeks. I didn't tell Laura that. I just nodded and said, "Hope it was fun." Then I went upstairs, locked the bedroom door, and started scrolling through my laptop. I wasn't looking for anything specific, just something. Proof. Validation. I knew her Apple ID. I shouldn't have known, but I did. She'd used the same password for everything for years. When I opened the synced messages folder, my hands were shaking so badly I could barely type. And there it was. A message thread with someone named Evan. It started innocent enough. Work jokes, late-night chats, casual, "You're so easy to talk to" messages. But then the tone changed. The emojis changed. Timing changed. And then I saw it. Evan. "Wish I could be there tonight instead of your husband." Laura. "Stop, you'll make me blush." Grinning face with sweat. "He's asleep anyway." That line, "he's asleep anyway," hit me harder than anything else. 'Cause it was true. Had been asleep. Not just that night, but for months. The next morning I didn't say a word. I brewed coffee. Ate breakfast. Watched her move around the kitchen like nothing had happened. She kissed my cheek before leaving for work, something she hadn't done in weeks, and the gesture burned more than it comforted. That's when I decided. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. I wanted her to feel the silence she'd built between us. I wanted her to wonder what I knew. To question every quiet look, every unanswered text, every moment of my detachment. For a week, I became a ghost in my own home. She'd talk, I'd nod. She'd touch my arm, I'd pull away. She'd ask if something was wrong, I'd smile and say, No, everything's fine. And little by little, I saw the fear grow behind her eyes. On the 7th day she broke. Mark, please talk to me, she said one night, tears already forming. You've been so distant. Did I do something? I laughed, a sharp, bitter sound I barely recognized as my own. Did you do something? I repeated slowly. That's a good question. She flinched, her lip trembling. What's that supposed to mean? Maybe ask Evan, I said. Her face went pale. Just like that. All the color drained, her mouth opened, but no words came out. She didn't even try to deny it. That silence was confirmation enough. How long? I asked quietly. She wiped her eyes. It wasn't serious, Mark. Just happened. We were talking at work, and I felt seen again and… Seen? Cut in. You needed to feel seen, so you found someone else's eyes to look into? She broke down then, sobbing, apologizing, promising it was over. But her words bounced off me like rain on glass. I'd spent a week imagining this moment, thinking I'd feel anger, maybe even relief. Instead, I just felt hollow. I told you I didn't need intimacy, she whispered through tears. Because I felt guilty every time you tried to touch me. I couldn't pretend. That hurt more than anything. She didn't just cheat. She stopped loving me before she even realized it herself. I didn't shout. I didn't hit walls or slam doors. I just stood up, grabbed my jacket and said, I need air. She followed me to the door. Mark, please don't leave like this. We can fix it. I turned to her, the woman I once thought I'd grow old with, and said, You already left, Laura. You just forgot to tell me. And then I walked out. For the next week, I stayed at a friend's place. No calls, no texts. I blocked her everywhere. At first, I expected her to chase me. But she didn't. Maybe she knew it was over. Maybe she realized too late that some things can't be undone. On the 8th day, she showed up at my friend's door. Her eyes were swollen, her voice small. She handed me a letter, said it explained everything. I didn't open it. I just told her to leave it on the table. She hesitated, tears spilling again. I made a mistake, she whispered. I was lonely, confused. I thought you didn't care anymore. I looked at her, really looked at her. And for a brief second, I saw the woman I'd fallen in love with. The one who used to dance barefoot in the kitchen. The one who whispered, We'll be okay no matter what. But then I remembered the messages. The lies. The silence she built between us. I cared, I said softly. You just stopped noticing. It's been 6 months now. The divorce papers are signed. I've moved into a small apartment downtown. Quiet, simple mine. Sometimes I still wake up expecting to hear her in the kitchen, humming that same tune she always did when she was happy. But the silence now, it doesn't hurt the same way. It's peaceful. Her letter is still unopened. I keep it in a drawer, not because I want answers, but because it reminds me that sometimes closure isn't something you get from others. Sometimes it's something you give yourself. She wanted to feel seen. Now I finally see myself. And that somehow is enough.